Good evening, everyone. I am Jason Miles, your host, here for another episode of This is Revolution Podcast. If you are a returning listener or subscriber, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for your patience. We were having, and by we, I mean me, having some technical difficulties with my camera, but I'm ready, and we don't have the entire TIR crew, but we have just the good ones. Coming in as the official voice of reason for the show, please welcome M. Tucson.
Hello. How are you tonight, Jason?
I was doing great until I tried to start the show.
So now you're doing great again.
Sure. Just let people believe what they want to believe.
All right.
And it's, you know what this was? This is karmic retribution for what we were going to talk about.
That's probably true.
Dude's looking down from whatever weird new metal meth-filled heaven he's in. And coming all the way from his office on a star destroyer in a galaxy far, far away, please welcome Deep State Cuba.
Hello, everyone. I'm a little anxious because with the whole pivot to lesbian space witches in the Disney Star Wars cinematic universe, I'm anxious that the Imperial military-industrial complex may have to settle a few redundancies in the stormtrooper management departments. Right? We're going full DEI, then it may just be Black Girl Force Magic from here on out.
Now, speaking of Black Girl Force Magic, about to... have you watched, is it called The Acolyte?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But have you, okay, so I haven't kept up with, and I'm not saying this like I'm cool. I'm not saying this like I'm beyond Star Wars stuff. And I want to preface anything I say right now by saying this. I grew up enjoying comic books, and I definitely loved Star Wars. And when there was more Star Wars, I was more excited. There was more cool ships and villains and cool looking stormtroopers and shit. I love it. I don't love all of it, but I just love a little bit of it, but I don't hate it. Like there's people like Jean Bajlan, and I'm calling him out by name because I can, that just love to say mean shit about Star Wars. And he could do what I did and just turned off Disney Plus. It's a wacky concept. And then there's another thing I do called go out into the real world, and then no one talks about Star Wars wherever I go. So there is that just wild thing that I do. And my job is primarily online, and that clown actually gets to work in the real world. So,
well, that's the thing, right? Like, if your job is mostly in the real world, then you need Star Wars as that sweet escape. Right? But like now he can't retreat to Tatooine. Instead, it's just Springfield, Missouri, everywhere you go.
I mean,
but
look, yes.
Honestly, I'm the reason that the Acolyte crossed my radar had nothing to do with Star Wars. Actually,
it really was a DEI project. You were.
It was no. I'm as the chat might remember, I'm a big fan of Rod Dreher, my favorite Christian psycho, and he can't get over the culture war stuff, right? He just finds it unbearably triggering, and I hadn't even heard of the Acolyte until he kept bringing it up. Frankly, I might have kind of like slept walk sleepwalked through Pride, were it not for the fact that Rod Dreher is reminding me every single day about the tentacles of the LGBTQ agenda smothering any hope for normalcy and appropriate missionary position, godly intercourse that anyone in the West can hope to have anymore. That said, right, like he did inspire me to take a look at The Acolyte, and not good.
Oh, so you were with Gene in this. There's another friend of show. I won't name.
My issue isn't. I don't have like a big ideological thing with it.
Just not enjoyable.
There was a really obvious bad editing in a scene which is purely expositional, right? Like a character in the background is walking while two people are talking, and then for no reason they cut forward, and so you see her jump from being like, let's say 15 meters away to being 8 meters away for no reason. Similarly, they also have fire in space, which there's no oxygen in space. It doesn't work that way. So it's like, all right, you guys ain't even trying, right? Like you're failing the 101 filmmaking, and you're failing the 101 scientitioning. So yeah, like gotta side with Gene on this one. Acolyte, not great.
I don't know if it's good
it
or
has
bad.
the Squid Games guy in it.
Another thing I didn't watch because I also canceled Netflix. The Squid Games. I have a boring place now. If you come visit and you want to watch a movie, I'm go. If it's not on Tubi, then it's not gonna Tubi.
Just watching cactuses grow.
Tubi has a library of some of the most amazing straight-to-video and cable films ever put on God's green earth. And they all, well, look, I don't know how cactuses grow. Literally, I live in a place full of cactuses, and they're pretty amazing. And secondly, you can put on one movie on Tubi, and then another one will come on right after that is equally, if not more insane than the one you put on before. And for a person like me, someone says Jason's on the Tubi payroll. I wish I'd be like, this is brought to you by Tubi. Check out the movie Sweet 16, where people say extremely inappropriate things to an alleged 15-year-old for an hour and a half. Well, Steve says stop sleeping on Tubi. And Tubi makes the greatest black movies in the history of black movies.
In the history.
When in the history of Negrodom have you ever seen anything like the woman that shot the kid? I'm just a kid. Cow. Or the old man who's supposed to be, what was he supposed to be? Like in a coma, and then the girl blows him, and he wakes up and starts blackmailing the nurse that blows him.
Yep.
That seems ungentlemanly.
It was. That was one word for it.
A real failure of gallantry on his part.
Someone says, is Soul Plane on Tubi? It may not be Soul Plane, but it would be like some sequel of Soul Plane you had no idea they made, like Soul Plane 4.
Soul Helicopter.
Soul Zipliner.
Soul Zipline.
It's a short one.
It was John Witherspoon's last
Boeing
role.
737 Super Max.
Newer Yanks is that is just rude. That was a life-saving BJ. We played it in the champagne room. I dare not play it on the main show, but it's this. I don't know if it's a show or a movie, but there's this man and he's kind of like, he's comatose. So he's like, nah, he's all comatose, right? And this girl is like trying to seduce him. And it's like, well, he's comatose. You could have just done that. You didn't have to talk. There was no need for you to explain anything you were going to do. And then she just pulls out the guy's crank and kind of, wow, this is a huge crank, and then just goes down on him. And then when she's done, the guy's like, and you're like, whoa.
Wait until she finished.
Kuma's I wish
it sounds like that should be it sounds like they've really missed an opportunity to introduce that as standard treatment for like if it works consistently, right, then she's a goddamn hero, Florence Nightingale for our time.
Can you imagine the doctor calling that in? Doctor, he seems to be comatose. Is Jason watching movies he taped off Cinemax in the 90s? Sometimes. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and lie. I had a visitor in my home a few weeks ago, and they also enjoyed movies of a certain era, and we started watching this insane movie with Leif Garrett in it.
Yeah.
And Leif Garrett and his sister were like honey trapping people, these rich dudes that were married, which was totally unnecessary because they just murdered them. They just murdered. They were like, but they were already rich, so there was no reason. They didn't need any extortion money or anything. They would just like trap them and like, haha, we're gonna tell your wife. And the guy's like, who are you? What is this about? And then Leif Garrett would just kill him. And it's like, well, why did you even bother doing all the other stuff? You should have just killed him from the jump. But that movie led us to this series of Robert Forster films that he did that were equally, if not more insane than that one. And we would like doze off and wake up in the middle of some crazy Robert Forster film. And then the next day we'd be like, we have to find that movie. We have to finish the movie and find out how it ends. So it's Tubi. There's nothing better right now than Tubi. Tubi also had the Puffy documentary that came out like 5 minutes after. Like as soon as some accusations dropped, Tubi had a documentary in the fucking can, ready, like locked and loaded.
I mean, I do prefer that to the astounding talent and versatile actor : the Donald Sutherland story, written and illustrated by AI, now available on Amazon.com. In terms of AI content production, it's just amazing how much more of the low end shitty stuff, but like in a soulless way. We're not talking about like the Tubi gold that you're mining. Yeah. It's not Tubi. It's not Tubi.
If it's not Tubi, it's not Tubi. There you go. You're welcome. Hey, Tubi, you're welcome. Just remember.
Yeah, send a check our way.
Yeah, make that. Just make that check out to Deep State Cuba. That is capital D. It's EEPE because he's in Canada. In other news, I don't know if Cuba saw this. I'm sure he did. I'm sure Canada knows about this. Oh, by the way, is it beautiful where you are right now? Because this is kind of one of the most amazing times of the year for the part of the country that you're in.
It's nice. It's been pretty lovely, and not too hot. And we've been very. I'm knocking on the table here because so far there haven't been any major province-wide disaster fires, which is unusual nowadays. It's like a 90s throwback.
The good old days when
Exactly.
when Cuba and Ryan Reynolds used to run the streets of Vancouver.
And everything wasn't on fire.
Yes.
We're just gonna keep making believing that you're from Vancouver. That's fine.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. Kendrick Lamar had a concert, and in this concert, people believe that he really put the Drake beef to bed by just destroying Drake in this concert. And a lot of people who are not in gangs, mind you, they seem to be of a lighter hue. Would you agree, Toussaint? That are making a lot of these comments about how Kendrick Lamar has reunited or united all these gangs in Southern California.
I don't know their hue, but I have seen the comments online.
What, like, is he Genghis Khanning? Right?
He is
And
Genghis
what does it
Khan of the
mean
internet.
to unite the gangs of Southern California?
In 2024, what does it mean? Nothing.
You just get a whole bunch of likes, like they retweet your shit.
People are okay. It's 2024, and people are acting like it's 1984, and it is not. And gang violence in Los Angeles is nothing what it was like in the 80s and 90s, and even into the early 2000s. Is there still gang violence in Los Angeles? Yes, but pales in comparison to what it was many years ago. And the black population of Los Angeles is just not as violent as people would like to think it is. So he didn't free the slaves by doing the concert, as much as everything I've read about it has been a slave freeing ordeal. He didn't unite the different ends of California, because Southern California rappers and Bay Area rappers have been working together ever since I've been listening to the genre. So there's that. But for some reason, people are acting like he just wrote the Emancipation Proclamation with "They Not Like Us."
He ended apartheid in California. They can drink from.
I am Malcolm X.
Because of Kendrick, Californians can drink from any water fountain anytime they want.
So yeah, now just send him to Gaza.
Then he sound like Ice Cube in that movie Anaconda. There's wars out here this big. Oh yes, Kendrick. This is what a real war looks like.
I wonder how quickly he would be Drake is a Zionist. Toronto is just code for Tel Aviv.
That's fucked up. I was looking up like numbers. Oh, I can show you guys. Kuba, look at this new thing we can do. Look what I can do. Bam! Look at that.
What am I looking at?
You are looking at homicide numbers in this beautiful little study that I got from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department.
0% other. Good for you, other.
Well, look, black and white people are at the same percentage to be a suspect in a murder.
Is it murder? I guess it is murder.
Yeah, these are.
But
murder rates was the rates that they gave me.
I'm impressed with the Asians, right?
The Asians. If Kendrick would have united the Koreans, Mien, Laotians, and Vietnamese people, maybe we could have a different conversation because they are literally the most violent. Or
no,
Hispanics.
But Hispanic Asians.
Oof.
I imagine that's just like a T-1000 style, right? Like,
forget about it.
You probably marry, kill, like sequentially, because it's like, look, I'm a Catholic, right? Like, we have to do this properly. If I'm going to domestically murder you, it has to be in the way that God intended.
I believe last year Los Angeles County had 212 murders. The most likely victims are over 46. So I am in the danger zone if I go to Southern California. And that means that I feel comfortable by saying all of the under 46 that were at Kendrick Lamar's show probably pretty safe.
Pretty safe.
In the year, Kendrick, how old is Kendrick Lamar, Toussaint?
36.
So what year was he born? 84? No, I'm stupid.
No, not 84.
94?
No, not 94.
I'm just making up numbers. Kuba's just laughing because my math is so bad. What year? 90? Was he born 90?
How old is he now?
36?
No, he'd be born in 88, right?
Thank you, Kuba. I'm not even going to think about doing math right now because I'm trying to look at this small number that you guys can't see.
Oh, he's 37.
He's 37. So he's born in 87.
Did he just have a birthday?
There were just gang homicides alone in 87. There were 387. And in LA County, there was 1,563 homicides in the year of his birth.
Yeah. When you look at the condition of the United States, in terms of where it is materially for most people, the level of inequality, the just absolute toxicity in the political division, in culture, you name it, it's actually kind of amazing that Americans aren't killing each other in larger numbers every day. And I'm guessing, right, when you think about other times and places, Americans are old, man, right? Especially the native born ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's an aging population. And unless you've got the real young men surplus, right, setting the tone for the culture, and without anybody to keep them on the straight and narrow, keep them in check, then like without that volatile element, I think you just have it's much harder to get a good old fashioned ethnic cleansing off the ground. Yeah, like you're really at the risk of throwing a pogrom and having no one show up.
I just
not because they don't want to, but it's like, oh, you know, my sciatica was acting up. I figured I would just tweet support, right? Like nobody wants to show up.
It's funny you say that because we have a comment. Charles Muller says, "Are Americans too lazy to go postal?" I don't know about too lazy, but there's a lot of avenues to get that anger out and that frustration out.
I think.
I mean, people still do it.
Yeah, I mean it's also unclear to what extent all of the lone wolf style spree shootings have right if they prompt change in the way that law enforcement, especially the FBI, monitors and attempts to control, influence, prevent attacks like that, well, you're not going to know about it. So maybe there's something coming out of the deep state dungeons that's also keeping a lid on civil unrest. But I guess we're all going to see in November because it's going to get crazy.
There's a presidential debate on Thursday that I didn't realize was on Thursday because I was too busy watching Tubi. And in none of those commercials do they say, coming up on Tubi, who you have a showdown to rule the world. That wasn't there. So I booked a show, which I probably would have done anyway.
Yeah.
So Bert Cooper and I will both not be watching the presidential debates.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Tyler Austin Harper is supposed to be joining us as well. So it's going to be the lightest, brightest men on the internet on one episode.
He's been on the show before, right?
Yes.
He's the baby.
So Too Light, Too Strong on TIR for Thursday.
They're both babies.
I should wear sunglasses for the show. Because they're too light. Too light. We are going to open up phone lines in a bit. Before I open up phone lines, I do also want to add another bit of news that even Kuba was unaware of. Lead singer of the seminal band Crazy Town, Shifty Shellshock, passed away at the age of 49. I think in honor of his passing, we should play that Butterfly song.
No way.
And, yeah, we should play Butterfly, and then we should all punch a hole in drywall.
Nice. I take your shirt off first.
Ooh, do you take your shirt off before you punch a hole in the drywall?
I'm just worried that the drywall is going to punch back. So I preemptively apologize and keep my sweater vest on.
We're going to open up the phone lines because if you got a butterfly or a tribal tattoo on your lower back because of that song, please call in.
Before we do that, you're going to call in now?
I'll call in, so you be entertaining while I hit the phone up.
Okay. I would like to explain what we're doing here and what fundraising is. We're half an hour into the show, and you guys need to know fundraising is fundraising. Yay! We're fundraising today on the show because our numbers have been a little bit lower than average this month. So we need to do a little fundraising to get those numbers back up. So you guys feel free to send in your super chats. Any questions you have for us, any embarrassing things you'd like us to say, we'll repeat it. If you send us a super chat, that would be very helpful. This is our first fundraising show. Aren't you excited, Kuba?
Yeah, I'm here for the No Dignity Telethon.
That's what fundraising's all about. Andy says he's leaving now.
Don't be that way, Andy. Right? Stick around, and maybe our desperate humiliation will amuse you enough to be worth your time, if not your money.
All right, we're back.
Yeah. Oh yay!
we are desperate. Let's put the number back up, Toussaint.
Sorry about that. That was
Mhm.
delayed.
Mhm. So the number's on the screen. It was on the screen, but the number is area code 510-319-1899. Again, that number is area code 510-319-1899. If you guys have any questions for Kuba that are serious, if you guys have questions about foreign policy, if you guys have questions about Russia, Ukraine, I'm sure people have questions about that. If you have questions about
Ask me about Washington D.C. Ask me about I don't know. Just don't
like
ask
what
me
your
many
favorite places
questions
to
about
eat.
China.
Like Cuba, when you're looking for a good pick me up in DC.
Yeah.
What's your favorite cafe?
Let's rate fast food chicken restaurants again. The Golden Corral, number one.
The No Dignity. I heard you say that as I was calling in to set up the thing, and I was
I actually assumed when you went off camera that you were going to show up either shirtless or in like a proper like begging uniform, maybe something like a Puccini style clown, right, or classic hobo look.
I figured this was it.
I don't know, man. Like, where's the shoulder? Where's the shoulder? Right? Like, you've got an implied tank top underneath that vest, but implied skin. That's not going to get us to the end of the month.
This. I'm so excited about this T-shirt. This not one of my. I like this band a lot. But I always thought they had a really cool logo, and their songs that are good are really good. We do have a super chat from. Let's read this. The Ayatollah.
Sorry.
Okay, you're just Toussaint.
Sorry.
What's going on? What's going on? Do I have to go over there and give you a talk? Because Cuba HR is really difficult to you in a very passive aggressive manner. Question for Jason. Memories of Livermore, California. Also, how do you think Bo Nix is going to do this year? Much love to you, Cuba Toussaint from Denver. Shout out. Thank you very much. Asking me if I have memories of Livermore is like, do you remember eating peas?
Oh, Gene does.
We got to stop fucking with Gene. I do have some memories of Livermore. There was a venue there for a short time that this dude ran. And a friend of mine and I were trying to throw shows at that did not go well. I can't remember the name of the venue. I want to say it was running a practice space there. This was in the early aughts, maybe the mid aughts. Oh, fuck, what's the name of that venue? It's really all I know about Livermore, and sometimes I get gas there when I'm driving back to Mexico. I never really spent much time in Livermore. Cuba, you lived in the Bay for what, like 3-4 years?
Oh no, I lived in the Bay longer than that. Maybe 6, 7. I've only been out to Livermore once or twice that entire time. And the most notable thing about it for me has always been the spider goats.
Where the fuck are those?
There's a herd of genetically modified goats that came out of the Lawrence Livermore laboratory, and they produce spider silk in their
Are you
milk.
being serious right now, or are you doing that thing that you did to your teachers?
Why don't I encourage the chat to
Can the chat look this up? I also believe Cuba is insane enough and an insomniac enough to create a spider goat Wikipedia. Like, I believe in my soul that the joy Kuba would get out of overhearing a spider goat conversation at a restaurant would be like, that was worth that 1,700 hours I put into this fucking spider goat fake Smithsonian website.
There's a Chinese woman that
That's in your
made
house
some
right now?
headlines a few years ago because she had managed to completely falsify significant war on Wikipedia. Like, she pulled in like actual historical figures. She Forrest Gumped it basically, but on Wikipedia, and it took them a while. Like, basically, if she had just stuck to the war, she probably would have gotten away with it. But she started getting started going a little too far afield, and eventually, a real historian is like, "Wait a minute, I don't think China ever fought Estonia."
That's Cuba level
basketball.
deviant. That's Cuba level deviousness. I just want you to know that. Also, you asked about Bo Nix. I don't think Bo Nix is going to start. I think Sean Payton is smart enough to know that sending a rookie, even an older rookie like Bo Nix, even someone with as much experience as Bo Nix, right? He played more college games at quarterback than anyone else in history because he had those extra years. I still don't think it makes a lot of sense because, as you know, as a person that lives in Denver, we're constantly looking for the heir apparent to John Elway. That person just doesn't exist. John Elway, we have to admit, was probably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He definitely, in my opinion, is the greatest number one draft pick of all time. And I don't think Bo Nix has that John Elway it thing. Because remember, Elway, I don't even think Stanford was a winning team when he got that number one pick, and he was a consensus number one pick. And he was, if he wasn't the runner-up to the Heisman that year, he definitely was really close to even winning the Heisman that year. They had that huge letdown against Cal, but that would probably go down as one of his greatest comebacks in college if it wasn't for that uncalled penalty. And I said it, California, Berkeley, take that. That forward lateral in that game where they smashed the football in the head of the band player, poor guy. But I think you can get a lot of mileage out of Zach Wilson. And I don't think anyone in Denver is looking for a Super Bowl or even a playoff. So a 500 season is a win, right? A push is a win in this situation. So in my opinion, Sean Payton is playing with house money because there's a lot of holes to fix still in the defense. I don't know if we have a true pass rushing threat like we had during those Super Bowl and playoff seasons with Von Miller during the last ride of Peyton Manning. So me personally, I don't think Bo Nix will get on the field. Maybe the last few games like we saw with Drew Lock in that first year so people can get excited. But again, what's the worst that can happen? Because Nix and Zach Wilson are around the same age. So even if Zach Wilson balls out, I mean, you got him on the cheap. And Bo Nix, maybe you can get rid of him for some more players if Wilson ends up panning out. That's my take on that. And thank you so much for the super chat. This is a great question. What's the worst town you've ever been to, Jason? The worst town I've ever been to is Butte, Montana. A very nice man who ran a radio station out of Butte had taken a liking to my ex and I's music, and it was just the two of us. And he had booked a show for us at this bar in Butte, and I didn't know anything about Butte, Montana, but as we pulled into town, I got the impression that I wasn't in Kansas anymore, and I should probably be very careful. My ex, who I did music with, is from Vancouver, Canada, so she didn't really have the greatest reference point for American racism, especially when you're in the North. And there is so many Native Americans. You just assume that maybe people are less racist. You don't understand. Oh no, they hate the shit out of Native Americans. And the place we were supposed to play was called Jim's Corner Bar. So when we looked it up on the map thing, there were two. There was Jim's Bar and the Corner Bar, but there was no Jim's Corner Bar. So we went to Jim's Bar first, right? It was on the corner as well. And it was a very uncomfortable feeling even pulling in the parking lot, and I didn't want her to come in with me. So I said, just wait in the car, and if I don't come back in like 5 minutes, just leave. And she started crying. I can laugh about this now. We both can laugh about it. I'm sure she will chuckle about this. Because she was really worried. She was like, no, you can't go in there. I was like, well, if it's not the right place, then maybe you should just take off. But if it's the right place, I'll come back and tell you, it's the right place. So I walk in, and it's got all of the trappings of things that frighten me when I'm not in California, Chicago, Houston, New York City, or South Florida. It's got white people with puffy vests and hats that are camouflage with America slogans or hunting company slogans. That's usually the uni of a dude that does not like brown people. That's kind of the uni, right? How some white people are scared when they just like a black kid, like his pants below his ass. Like that's the way I feel when I see white people wearing those clothes. I'm like, like, dear, did you see that white man?
Oh, he looks like a bad one.
His vest is rather puffy, and I lock the door so they can hear me lock it. And I walked in, and everyone's head turned. And there was a young lady behind the bar, and she saw me, and she turned away real quick. And it was one of those record scratch moments, and everyone's watching to see what I do. Now, this could be, we don't know who you are, and Butte is a town of, I think, less than 20,000. I don't know what it's at now. It's a small town. Montana is very sparsely populated.
Oh, and also, like you said, there's Native Americans, but it is not a lot of black people.
Oof. And it wasn't like if I brought my native friend in with me, they would have been cool.
No, but it's in places where you don't have a lot of black people. When a black person shows up, then, and I've been guilty of this long before I met you. You can't help but stare because it's like, oh my God, it's a black person, like from TV. Do you think he'll talk to us? if we're polite enough, but like your first instinct might be to stare, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And I'm imagining that you walk into a bar in like a small town in Poland. The people, just the surprise, right? Together with the fact that it's not a particularly, like friendly to strangers society, right? You'll get people just staring at you. It happened to me in China, like in a very, very out of the way city. I was with 3 other white people, and we walked in to a dumpling restaurant, and we picked it because it was noisy and really, really busy. But as soon as we walk in, total silence. Everybody is staring at us. No one is moving. No one is moving. Like, the dumpling is inches from your mouth, and you're just like waiting to see what these white people will do. No one greeted us. No one spoke to us. Everybody was just sitting and staring silently. We walked in, we picked up a menu, we examined the menu ostentatiously, we looked around, we put the menu down very gently, and then we slowly backed away towards the door. And we were halfway across the street before we heard all of the repressed noise. Like everyone at the same time in that restaurant being like, "Oh my God, did you see the white people?" at once. Yeah, like,
but there's a different feeling of, because I
oh,
live here in Mexico and I often go into places where Americans don't go, and I get that "what's he doing here" look, and it's not the what's the N-word doing here. It's
I believe you. Like,
it's and I know exactly the feeling you're talking about. People are like, "How did you even know about this place?"
Yes,
we're not on Yelp, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's the surprise, and there's surprise without unwelcomeness, and there's surprise, and like, maybe I put the menu down. Maybe we back off towards the door.
Right? maybe we don't want any boogers in our food today, so we're just gonna leave. I start walking towards the bartender. She's behind the bar, and she won't make eye contact with me. And everyone's staring at me. And I go, "Excuse me." And she's right in front of me. She's like, won't look. She won't look. I'm like, "Excuse me." And finally she goes, "Yes." And I said, "Is this Jim's Corner Bar?" And she goes, and everybody goes, and she goes, no, that's around the corner. She's like directing me to it. Everybody wants to direct me to the other bar. Like, no, get you.
They want to be helpful all of a sudden, right?
Like, "Oh shit, we know you're nasty."
Yeah, it turns out that our interests actually align on this point.
We went to the actual venue, which was a little more welcoming, but it was interesting to say the least. Shout out to the guy that put it together. He didn't have much, and it was a fun show. It was the only time that I can remember we had security with us at all times because they were worried. So they hired their biggest native friend they knew to like make sure wherever we went, he was in front of us to like stop people from maybe throwing things at us or trying to hurt us. And there's more to that story I won't get into, but that was one of the most uncomfortable places. Meridian, Mississippi is a very close second, where they just told us to stop, leave. But the Northwest, in my opinion, is way more frightening than the South because there's just no black people there.
You mean the inland Northwest?
Yeah. Well, all of it. Fuck Seattle too.
Nice.
I hate to go, "There's a black part of Seattle." No, there's not. Stop.
No, it's not.
There's like eight there. You got 8 blacks there. One of them is Sir Mix-a-Lot. Like, we don't know what you're talking about, you people. Portland can eat all the dicks too. That's
Jeez.
Man, making a lot of friends. It's our desperation night. It's supposed to be fundraisings, but it seems like it might be more like sour grapes.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Fucking Cooby. But that's look, dude. I've gotten to know people in Portland. Like I have friends. I actually have a really close friend in Portland who is a black man, but he is not from there. He's from Northern California and relocated to Portland. But Portland knows they don't have black people there. They know that.
Oregon, I think, in its original constitution, was like article, amendment, the first, no black people.
Yeah, that was in the 50s, I believe, right?
I think they it came with statehood, I think, and they got rid of it maybe mid-century. But yeah, like for a while, it was just official policy that it's funny too, because this was at a time when if you were an immigrant from any other melanation, that's not true. They also hated Asian. If you were a white person, if you were a white immigrant, then right, they were happy to have you. They were hurting for people, but just couldn't get past that. Racism classic.
Why do you think they took Doug Lane? Doug's not from Portland. He was like, I want to move to Portland, and they were like, are you white? Yes, I am. And he's like, but I have all these kids, and they're like, ooh, but is your wife white or some sort of?
Doug does have mad kids.
She's white too, and they're like, well, come on down, Doug. you and your white family, please.
Yeah, the DNA is right. I can. So my terrible towns. I've got a couple. They're places that it wasn't like a single bar. The whole vibe of the entire built area was terrifying. Right, like Surabaya in Indonesia, not great. The Nogales and Agua Prieta, the Mexican side.
Not the Mexican side of Nogales? Okay.
Yeah. I was covering Arizona for a travel book, and they had me going to these border towns and handling like the border crossing process. What are the hours? Practicalities, right? Like if you want to go into Mexico here, how do you do it? And going into Nogales from the American side, there's no American controls. There's no, like, you're leaving the United States, nobody's looking at your passport. This is 2000, so this is a long time ago. But then you reach like a turnstile that's out. You can just walk around it, right? It's just sitting there. But there is a turnstile. And next to it, there's one of those tiny little booths that you sometimes see in a parking lot where it's just room for like a chair and some papers. And there was a large Mexican customs guy who was like, it was a hot day, he was sweaty, and he hadn't shaved. He had a lot of very, very healthy 5 o'clock shadow, incredibly clean uniform, and you could admire it because he was completely asleep, totally out. Probably could have like stolen his badge if I wanted to, but so you walk around the turnstile and you don't disturb the sleeping man. Then you walk into a town where every building is surrounded by a low, cobbled together fence, which is topped by razor wire and broken glass. And every street corner, not intersection, but street corner, so 4 per intersection, has got like a group of young men standing there just like staring at you hard, trying to figure out why the fuck you're in their neighborhood and what they should do about it. So I made it 2 blocks in to Mexico, turned left, walked 1 block over, turned left again, returned to the border immediately. And now all of a sudden the Americans were out in force, right? Like, now they were asking questions. And I'm with a friend of mine. We get to the American immigration guy, show him our passports, and he's like, "Canadians? Aren't you at the wrong border?" I'm like, well, we were in Arizona and we wanted, we were curious. We decided, like, well, let's go down and let's see Mexico. And it's like, well, did you see it?
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to America.
Also, welcome to the hottest, shittiest part of America.
Yeah, exactly.
An hour and a half north, there's a McDonald's. There you go. Welcome to America. In Tucson, I think we have some calls. You want to push one through?
Yes, we do. Okay. Calling from a 425 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sup. This is JC. I'm calling from the state of C.
What's up?
So I've been thinking, it's a bit of a dangerous thing when you're someone like me, only slightly educated, severely concussed most of the time. But I've been trying to figure out what the rational reason why the quote-unquote deep state would be all in on Israel. And I came up with the idea that it's an extension of the armed lifeboat policy. It's not any secret that Israel has been a testing ground for new weapons and population control. But what if they're also key to the West's intent to control the flow of migrants? Is it possible that they are stoking the religious zealotry within Israel to the point where they may decide, if we can't have this land, no one can have it, and they glass themselves, while over in the U.S., they drop the bombs on, let's say, Chiapas and the Darrington Gap. Also, I can't hear MC or Cuba. I don't know if that's a me problem, but I'll take my answer off there. Have fun with Cuba.
Thank you very much for the phone call. They said they have a hard time hearing you guys on the air. Did you hear the question, Cuba?
Yes, it did. It was about Israel and population control.
Yeah.
Excellent question. I think that we're already at a stage where the reactionary forces within the United States and within Europe are mobilized to try to stem the flow of migrants northwards violently. And if you look at the BBC, they ran an article recently covering behavior by the Greek Coast Guard, where they've returned people to international water, they've pushed away boats, they've taken people out and dropped them in sinking, deflated, sabotaged life rafts, and a number of migrants have already died as a result of this treatment. The BBC has an interview where a leader within I think a former leader of the Greek Coast Guard was asked about this and showed footage. They have there's footage of people being pushed off boats and returned to international waters after arriving safely in Greece or after being picked up by the Greek Coast Guard. And when he showed this, he couldn't deny this was criminal behavior and that was a real problem. Apparently, there was a hot mic moment, and he's caught on a call talking to somebody else saying, like, look, they had video and everything. You guys have screwed up, right? This isn't supposed to make it out. So I think that unofficial policy has turned to basically using force to prevent border crossing in the Eastern Aegean. We're seeing groups in the Western Mediterranean, Italian groups, others behaving similarly. And I think that going by the EU parliamentary results, the popularity of the Alternative für Deutschland and Le Pen's party in France, Rassemblée Nationale, I think, we're only at the beginning of anti-migrant mobilization. And I think that it's not going to take a centralized statist form, at least in Europe. I think that you're going to see something similar to like the LAPD, where you have established smaller scale law enforcement or paramilitary organizations that have very strong right-wing sympathies, a high level of infiltration and indoctrination from reactionary groups, and they'll essentially take matters into their own hands with the tacit support of people higher up in the government. The idea being that perhaps you only have to do this for a while until migrants get the message and people give up attempting to enter Europe through these asylum seeker irregular channels. We've already have similar mobilization all across the southern border with the United States. Trump re-election would probably result in just taking all of that self-organizing reactionary mobilization and deputizing it. Make everybody an auxiliary of the Department of Homeland Security, and then give them carte blanche to handle non-documented border crossings the way that they want to. I don't think that you need to go all the way up to involving nuclear weapons or involving regular military forces. I think that you're going to get by fine with fascist volunteers. And we've talked a lot about the crisis of masculinity on this channel. The relative dearth of opportunities for non-college educated men to advance socially, to be able to earn enough to support a family, to be an attractive partner. And this venue, right, this type of mobilization, actually, two birds, one stone. Favored local groups of men can now be given financial support that doesn't take the form of a universalized welfarism, but it's basically a jobs program for the people who greeted Jason at that bar in Butte, Montana. Together with a means of preventing further migration from the global south, even as conditions worsen. And I'm not sure if you've been following, if everyone's been following the news on the global heat wave, but conditions have, as with every year, are getting harder and harder all across the global south. I believe over 1,000 people died in Saudi Arabia during the Hajj.
I saw that.
Of weather conditions.
Yeah.
And, right. These aren't even unwelcome guests, right? These aren't even illegal migrants. These are pilgrims and co-religionists that should be treated as with a certain amount of respect and consideration. But the conditions are so harsh, both in terms of the heat and in terms of the crowding, that people just fall through the cracks. In India, in Pakistan, all across Africa, you've had significant mortality from this year's heat waves. And that, at a certain point, right, like it becomes an existential matter, getting out of your home country and someplace further north, someplace where the climate itself won't kill you. But that's what the Greek Coast Guard is there to do instead. I think that when it comes to Israel, and there's just so much invested symbolically, culturally, psychologically, socially in the U.S.-Israeli relationship that you don't need to have a practical, you don't need much more in order to get this level of investment and buy-in. There's a segment of the American elite, and not just Jewish Americans. Jewish Americans are very divided when it comes to the question of Israel. Jewish billionaire Americans, however, there tends to be a pro-Zionist orientation and a willingness to interfere substantially in domestic politics, to mobilize financial resources and whatever support and influence is possible in order to shore up the coercive power of Israel against its Palestinian population. And decades of the security relationship also means that people like Eric Prince and other security figures all over the world have personal connections, as well as business connections and sympathy with Israelis in a way that, you know, none of these people like the Palestinians. None of these people humanize the Palestinian victims. To give an example that's a little more tangential, a little less military-industrial complexy, Rod Dreher, my favorite Christian psycho, who, you know, he doesn't really like Jews. He's a Christian chauvinist, and deeply, deeply committed to his particular faith, none of this Judeo-Christian syncretism. But he will side with Israel all day against Palestinians because Israeli children, like, you know, American children, are the paragons of innocence and virtue that need protecting, while Palestinian children are the human equivalent of rabid street animals.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the mentality that's ingrained among, you know, the responsible civic right-wing set, then you don't need anything more to keep the bloodshed and carnage going in Israel. And that commitment there might be so great that you'll have a sunset of support for Ukraine just to keep the conflict, just to keep Israel in the game. We'll see what happens with Hezbollah. If there is an attempt by the Israelis to push into Lebanon, then that'll serve as a major escalation, and developments are unpredictable past that.
That's scary when people say, I don't know. I don't know is the scariest thing ever. Kuba, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to say,
thorough.
I miss all the episodes of you and Jean Bajlan on the show, having those kinds of conversations. So
we'll have to do one. We'll have to do one again soon.
You are a big reason for the success of this show. You and definitely Gene, and of course Pascal are a huge reason for me being able to keep doing this show for as long as I've done it. So I feel like I have to say that on air. So people know that. And sometimes Tucson.
Nice. Very nice.
Tucson, you know you're a very big part of the show as well.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
You're also a very big part of my therapy that I don't want to pay for. There's also that. Oh, did the caller hang up? Damn it.
I tried to put the caller through.
And you hung up on him?
No. I think they got hung up on before.
Call
that
back.
Wasn't us. That
Call
wasn't
back.
us. That wasn't us. That was Tucson. Someone
Maybe
says
call
nice
back.
What? It was not me. Is Jason frozen or am I frozen?
I think Jason is frozen. I can hear you. Jason is.
Please call back Virtuoso. We'll let you right through. We lost Jason.
Let's see.
Message?
Kind of doesn't look that way.
It's still out. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, fudge.
All right. Well, got any more questions for me?
We do. We have more. We have more super chats. Here's one. Jason's not here, though.
Nuri Yank, do you feel that centrist, center-left Dem voters and supporters are more of an obstacle to the left rather than their right-leaning counterparts? I mean, I think that the major obstacle to any kind of left revival, and it'll vary from country to country. In the United States, it's clearly the entrenched leadership of the Democratic Party. They have demonstrated that they're willing to lose elections and risk absolutely everything in order to prevent anybody left of Amy Klobuchar from having a real chance at high leadership. The nexus between that entrenched, institutionalized leadership class in the DNC and the constellation of billionaire funders for the Democratic Party is extremely tight as well. So you have no other organization that could serve as the vehicle for left entry into American government. But at the same time, that institution is, the Democratic Party is completely unsympathetic, completely inhospitable to dedicated left mobilization. In Europe, the situation is a little different. You've got socialist parties all over the place, but there's a similar lack of effectiveness and cohesion that could weld together the dozens of leftist parties all across Europe into a cohesive force. And I don't know how you get out of this situation. Frankly, I think it's more likely that you end up with completely different political force that ends up pushing its way into power. Maybe something like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson presidency, or some other populist outsider measure. And once it enters, once this movement enters office, it realizes that it has no idea what to do and has nobody who actually understands policy or governance. And then, in search of a program, it picks up, a left-wing economist over here and Daniel Bessner over there, and Jeffrey Sachs has continued to drift further to the left, and then you might be able to have that as the nucleus of a governing apparatus, but it would probably take some total meltdown of the organizational structures of American public life to get us there. That said, doesn't it seem like we're getting closer and closer to that total meltdown? And before I think anybody on the real left gets a bite at the apple and gets a chance to try to repair things, it'll be the reactionaries that get swept in on a transformational MAGA agenda. And who knows, right? Maybe they can use that to entrench themselves, like Viktor Orban has entrenched himself in Hungary. Then again, the whole system is so spectacularly unstable that they might just eat shit even harder than Biden and the Democrats, and fully discredit every avenue of conventional politics. When you look at a lot of young people in the United States, I think the number one political orientation is despair / apathy. Mm-hmm. And after that, it's various different kinds of extremism before you get to, like, how weird do you have to be under 30 right now and like really excited about establishment politics, right? That's some lizard person Pete Buttigieg bullshit right there. And I think that everybody will have a chance, because things will get bad enough so that eventually any answer but what we have will be able to attract a sizable constituency. And the likelihood of some kind of escalation into a global conflict that pulls in the central states of the West, either through an Israeli offensive into Lebanon that pulls in Iran into a general Middle Eastern war, or the spread of the conflict in Ukraine, or a conflagration in East Asia that perhaps over Taiwan, perhaps over the South China Sea. But all of these areas have the potential to bring in another general great power war. And those things end with pretty drastic changes and create conditions where Bolshevik revolution, fascist entrenchments, the dissolution of states, the breakup of the fundamental foundations of international order, all of this becomes possible. All of this, in fact, becomes likely, right? Everything gets burned down as these societies try to stay alive and try to carve out victory, because defeat, just ask the Germans what defeat meant in World War II or World War I for that matter. It's so grisly that everything will get burned down before we reach the end. So, good times.
Oh. Thank you, Kuba.
But we may all bake to death in the new hotter climate before any of that happens. Like, perhaps things will get so hot that these weapon systems won't be operational anymore, right? Like the
they just malfunction.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Clear.
I'm back. I was able to use my phone and the laptop, and I think the power might be back, but I'm not sure. But Ben Burgess's power is out as well.
Oh, in
Take
LA?
that.
No, Ben lives next door. Not in the same building like last time. He lives like 2 buildings over.
It is, we take for granted regular, sustained, predictable access to electricity so much that that could be one of the things that goes, and that gets us to that point where people are
California.
like,
California is a perfect example of what you're talking about, where they're having rolling blackouts. There's a little bit of a warning that you get when the rolling blackouts are coming, unlike here, where it's just like, oh, the power's out, and then you can complain, and someone's going to look at you like, oh, and? Like, give a fuck about your complaint. As a matter of fact, take that. What are you going to do now? Also, I feel like I live in I'm sure there's other countries like this, but, I also live in a country where when the oil company is going out to, work on a line, they go out with armed guards. There's an armed Pemex truck with a dude with a 50 cal on the back on a turret. There's definitely some, we call it Mexico shit. There's definitely some Mexico shit you got to do.
I mean, that's a little flavor of the future, right? Like,
sadly,
at a certain point, the and one of the most shocking things observing the United States has been the level of decay of essential infrastructure. And if you cannot sustain your essential infrastructure, your bridges, your power grids,
drinking water,
then you're in for some Mexico times, right? And that ain't great. The criticism of many Democratic governments, Democratic Party governments, including Biden, right now, from parts of their own upper middle class, centrist constituency, is that it's all fine, it's all fun and games until the sense of order breaks down and suburbanites start pining for law and order, the trains running on time, Mussolini bullshit.
Someone says what I get for voting for AMLO. We have to get to some super chats, right, Toussaint?
Yeah, we have 11.
Okay. Are they all aimed at Kuba and his doom loop?
The first one is aimed at you, and I'm glad you're back to address it.
I can't do that, but I can show you my shorts. I'm wearing my long shorts today. Can you see?
Long shorts today.
Can you see?
Very nice.
Did you see the Shakira I hit you with? Can you see the long shorts? Look at that. Can you see the long shorts? God. Is that too much? These are the long ones. That's ones.
That's a lot.
Yes. This is a fundraising episode.
Right.
There's the dignity.
No dignity.
Oh, passport pro trick money.
Thank you, Dizzy McFizzle and Steve, for the super chats. Appreciate that.
I just want you guys to know
Oh,
how
Virtuoso.
boringly wholesome I am.
Is Virtuoso on the phone? Do we got
No,
calls?
the
No.
phone. We had to cut the phone. The phone, everything died. Yeah, sorry.
This is from Ken. JJ Reddick calling a black woman in college the N-word. Thoughts? He got fired? Is he getting fired?
I have to ask the question, Ken. What was she wearing and what did she do?
Nice.
I'm not serious, Ken. Please don't think that I'm serious about that. I don't want you to think that I really think that.
Who's JJ
No.
Reddick for the rest of us? Reddick.
JJ Reddick is a new coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, and no one wanted to take the Lakers job. But we'll be talking about the Lakers tomorrow on Beyond the Red Zone. We're probably going to be talking a lot of crazy stuff because it'll be me and Mac's first show back since DC. Jason says, Jason twerking for. I wasn't full twerking. I was just showing you guys my shorts. Like, see, I'm singing. Yeah, shorts.
He's doing it again.
How much thigh meat's in the shorts?
So, those shorts contain Jason's balls in the same way that the Saudi treasury contained substantial reserves of U.S. dollars. And just like Jason and his balls have an intimate, tight, I'll even say inseparable relationship, so too does Saudi Arabia have that type of tight coupling with the American dollar, right? Petrodollars. The energy system requires that that a substantial portion of Saudi reserves stay in U.S. currency. It would be too dangerous, especially under these conditions, given the instability in the Middle East, the war in Gaza, the potential for escalation into a conflict with Iran. Right now is not the time for de-dollarization. The Saudis, it would be a little like detesticulation. I think that there, before you have substantive de-dollarization, right? I'm not talking about like countries like Brazil or other powers that have some leverage, some clout, but are ultimately marginal to the international system. The most important countries, especially in Asia, will not move away from the US dollar until there's tangible, visible evidence, until China has slapped the US down at least once in a way that shows that there's no American response. There's no doomsday. The U.S. can't deliver security guarantees anymore. That is what's going to trigger the rush for the door. And who knows, right? Like, I think that a conflict with China would be very uncertain for both sides. Extraordinarily risky, certainly very destructive. Nobody should want that. But as America seems less and less capable of handling security crises, and more of them are occurring simultaneously, it might be attractive, at least for some elements of the PRC security apparatus and leadership, to show, right, to have a coming out party and slap the U.S. down in a way that will undeniably usher a new global order. But the problem is that those types of things tend to be pretty goddamn explosive. People think, you always think it's going to be the Russo-Japanese War, but sometimes it turns out to be the 30 Years' War.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a good old-fashioned.
Yeah. Sometimes, like the living envy the dead. We got like that good Cormac McCarthy shit now.
Someone says, "Hey, TR, what's the topic?" We did not have a topic for today. I had a lot more things planned that I was going to do that I probably could still do, but it's just too difficult on this particular thing that I'm on as my power went out. There was definitely some videos I wanted to show that I maybe will show in the Champagne Room Thursday. This man claims he got beat up by a bunch of gardeners. Did I send you that video, Kuba?
No.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say thank you to Ken and Charles for their super chats. We have another super chat.
Oh,
here.
shout out to Charles. We met Charles at in DC.
Did you? Nice.
I believe so. I believe he said he's Charles Ghost. I hope that's what he said. Go on, TIR5 ever. Worst concert you've ever been to? Ooh, anything I played between the years. Like the late 90s until Coachella is the worst concert I've ever been to. The most annoying concert I've ever been to is EDC.
Makes sense.
EDC, I think I've said this before on stream. My office in EDC is a metal box. It's their like storage refrigerator area, and they fashion a little office out of it. But it's also where all the higher ups for this company called Levy, which is one of the major food and beverage companies that do all the stadiums, are in as well. But the base, I've never seen stages set up like EDC because it's just a racetrack, so they're all set up pretty close to each other because I guess people don't really give that much of a shit about the music and sound separation. So it's just everything sounds the same. It's all the same tempo. So all night, the moment you fucking get there, it takes about an hour to walk into the office. There's no shortcut. There's no like secret bat cave way. And I didn't start before it started. I started mid shift, which was 11 p.m. to like 6 a.m. And it's just until like 6:37. And it's reverberated off the wall. Gang, 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 gang. All night, all day is worst thing. So glad I don't have to work in that industry anymore. Coachella is just boring as shit to me because I hated a lot of the groups. If you talk about small shows, I don't know. I never really would pay money to see something that sucked. I did see Eminem at one festival in Delaware, and he was lip syncing, and that broke my heart. Because that was one of the few things I actually made time to like. Let's go see Eminem. Like ran to the whole other side of the thing where the main stage was. And I'm looking. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is his mouth moving? The words are all different. Yeah. So yeah.
Next super chat. Jason Free.
Mm-hmm.
Read out loud, Jason.
My family's generational wealth comes from Butte. Know your place, peasants. I guess your family owned a mine.
There's a comic book series called Lazarus, which is dystopian future, and it posits that rather than going into some kind of totalitarian or fascist future, it's just going to go back to neo-feudalism, and maybe one day it's not going to be peasants, it's going to be serfs that you get to go back into those uranium mines for your family up in Butte.
Nice. Andy
That's
Williams says,
Uh-huh.
oh, sorry.
No. Go.
And Andy Williams says, hey guys, sorry I missed you in DC. Question, why do some people on the left think that Russia and China are going to be some progressive force on the planet?
That's a Cuba thing, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this.
Yep.
I think that there's a number of different errors of thinking that all point in the same direction. One is just this naive notion that because American imperialism is bad, anybody that pushes against American imperialism has to be better. And you can just have, look, it could just be imperialism with different jerseys, right? Like, you don't like the Washington Generals? Well, how about the Beijing Dragons or the Leningrad Tiger Bears? Take your pick, but it's all a human boot crushing a face again and again and again. Maybe that face is Ukrainian or Taiwanese instead of Palestinian, but that's the nature of imperial politics and coercive geopolitics. The fact that that China is led by a communist party, there are certain ways in which Marxism is built into the PRC system, and there is on the part of Chinese cadres ideological commitment to the Marxism-Leninism of the PRC. However, what they mean by Marxism-Leninism in the PRC is far, far, far downstream of Capital or State and Revolution. There's been generations of adaptation of classical Marxism into a ruling party ideology for the Chinese Communist Party, which is why we talk about Xi Jinping thought now. Before that, it was Hu Jintao thought. Before that, it was Jiang Zemin thought. We are very, very far away from any kind of Marxist orthodoxy. And so putting your hopes into the PRC like that is a little misguided. And even if the PRC has an agenda down the road for global communism, for the fulfillment of all the promises made for the Chinese people, to the people of the world, based on socialism, it's going to come at the end of a horribly destructive and ruthless period of conflict with not just the United States, but with any organized political force that isn't directly subordinated to the CCP. If you think about what the United States has done to left-leaning governments all across Latin America, well, that would be the preferred role, the preferred relationship that the CCP would like to enjoy with states of East Asia and Southeast Asia. That essentially Beijing has a veto over certainly international politics, but also when it comes to anything that affects the Chinese economy, domestic relations all across its greater, near abroad. And just this, people want hope that there is a good guy out there, but that's not how this story goes.
Is loving a nation state really being a leftist?
Well, I think that I think that there is an intrinsic desire, right, that can't be escaped from just through having the right ideology, the right flavor of socialism. That people want to believe that they belong to something greater than themselves. And the national community has been built up as that transcendent unity through educational systems, through the entire apparatus, through what Matt Christman calls the technologies of high modernism, the social technologies, the political technologies of high modernism, printing press, the discourse of citizenship, right? The United Nations, you name it. The world is organized on the nation state lines. So there's an incredible attachment that people have, one which only gets amplified in times of crisis when there's blood on the ground, and especially when that blood is shed by a foreigner. The getting away from that, you had mid-century people investing in the Communist Party, usually a national Communist Party, but then that national Communist Party is part of an internationalist movement with that charisma that this is the thing, right? Like, we may lose, but our children, our grandchildren, raised in the proper socialist tradition, they'll be there for that day when we break through. I think that at this point, it's hard for me to have a lot of optimism for what's going to happen down the line. And I think that in some ways, you're going to get your wish, Jason, that the value of our nation state identity is going to diminish substantially, because all across the West, the internal political line that division has poisoned any notions of civic unity. So American liberals and American conservatives are, at this point, have a more fundamental enmity than Americans with certain foreigners, including groups that have been the traditional enemies. Like, you have Tucker Carlson doing softball interviews with
Vladimir Putin. Yeah.
So I think that it's a bit of a be careful what you wish for, because what may replace the appeal of the nation state is the appeal of transnational ideologies based on race or traditionalism or civilization that pit you against your own neighbors, against people that live in the community but maybe don't look like you or don't talk like you, instead of people on the other side of the world.
Thank you.
Do you have any more cheery news for us?
Poland's been eliminated from Euro 2024, but that felt like old times.
Alex Herbert is in Poland, and he's having the time of his life, by the way. So everything you told me is a lie. He's sending. I won't say what he said on air, but he's sending me messages about Poland. Like, he may not leave.
Like, Poland now is nice, yo, right? Like,
well, you know why he wants to stay.
The ladies.
Wow.
That was my thought. The libraries.
The libraries, yeah. Poland apparently has very extensive libraries with big, fat books. A lot of big, round books.
And if you just look at them, it doesn't matter that they're in Polish.
I think he might speak. I think he might speak a little.
I got one. I do want to say something about Virtuoso's super chat. Should we get a super team? Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning, reality winner Daniel Hale. Actually, I think that this is a really great idea. I would like to get this group together and discuss what they've learned about the American security apparatus, the deep state, through not just their access to classified and privileged information, but also the experience of being repressed by it. Right? Who knows um, who knows the deep state better than its victims? And I think that part of that repression is atomization, right? You're separated from your friends, your loved ones, and your world collapses until it's just you. Maybe getting a group together like this where they could talk about their experiences collectively might be good for them, and might also get us some insights where we combine together different observations into a comprehensive view of what repression looks like in this, in the Biden-Trump twilight, the late Soviet period of the United States.
Do you have time for one more?
Kuba's in rare form tonight, and I'm really sad he has to go. This is rare form Kuba we're getting.
I'll take one more.
I hope you guys are. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
All right. It's the one that's on the screen from New Reyank. Do you feel that centrist/center-left Dem voters and supporters are more of an obstacle to the quote-unquote left than their right-leaning counterparts?
Oh, I already answered this, but I can elaborate a little. And I think that I think that class analytics and institutional analysis, like what are the parties, what are the institutions that you need to capture? What do you, where do you need to go through to end up in power? That will tell you a lot more than kind of attitudes of voter types, because a lot of our sentiments are shaped by political reality more than determinate of them. And in the US, there's that famous study which demonstrated that donors have a tangible impact on the behavior of elected officials, but voters, it's just noise, right? There's no correlation at all between voter preferences and the behavior of elected officials on the left or on the right. So I think that the only way that voters matter, whether ones that have the right flavor of oppositional socialist politics, that you can call them comrade with a clean conscience, or bourgeois, liberal, puffy-faced chimpanzees. The only way that they matter is if you can somehow cobble together a new institutional basis for power, a new political party, or more local than that. I'm not going to say like a militia, but like, think about Gaza. Right now, Hamas was governing Gaza for up until the beginning of this war, because they had cadres, they had offices, they had networks of authority. People were primed to listen to them, and they could deliver on both threats and promises. When the state breaks down, it'll be a question of who can muster that type of collective response. where they have leaders and followers, where they have money and mobilization, where they have resources and ideas. And right, like ultimately, you might end up fighting with your local branch of the Proud Boys over who has access to an important bridge or the water treatment plant. And I think that somebody made a statement previously in a super chat, I think, or on the call, that the forces of reaction learn from Israel how to control populations, how to reduce populations, how to deal with an occupation. I'm not saying that Hamas is a good example. Please don't construe it that way. They're bad dudes that killed a lot of people who didn't need killing. And not just Israelis either, but Hamas is violent towards Palestinians as well. However, being able to cobble together effective organization for the administration of territory, for the preservation of your power, pay attention to what they do because they're surviving under these conditions. And hopefully, we don't want any other part of the world to look like Gaza ever under any circumstances. And everybody of good conscience, regardless of your political perspective, that should be something that we can all agree on. No more Gazas. But political survival under those conditions, there might be some practical lessons there for when other states start to break apart.
Wow. Thanks for leaving us on a cheery note.
Very last question.
There's a cheery note. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy.
You can either confirm or deny.
I think some are thicker than others.
I mean, you guys understand you're asking this man a question. He doesn't live around a bunch of Polish people other than his mom and his sister. So please keep that in mind. That's a pretty fucked up question to ask this man.
Like,
You think accents.
Summer and I were just in Poznan visiting cousins. Absolutely beautiful. Amazing city. We did all the fun sightseeing, you know. We went to a World War II concentration camp.
Gross.
Yeah.
Sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah. You have to be selective about, or rather, it just comes with the territory. Even happy Poland is kind of gloomy. But yeah, like when I was there looking at the fun-sized gas chamber and the Nazi barracks, I did observe that not a lot of thick women in the pictures of inmates.
Jesus.
And on that note,
yeah, Kuba, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I appreciate you, and
my pleasure.
I'm still trying to go up north. Hopefully, me and Ben can go up north and visit you guys.
Damn, and yeah, let me know. I feel I missed out on DC, but I wouldn't mind getting in on the next live show if.
Then I need to get you in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it's already being talked about, and we're talking about doing something down here.
Ooh. All right.
In TJ. Okay. Peace, Kuba.
Always good to see you, Kuba.
Pleasure was mine.
Bye-bye.
I wish I had the applause because Kuba did a phenomenal job of answering those questions with a lot of insight. And I know he seems very deadpan, but he does care. when he's giving these answers, because these are things
Of
that he's
course
thought
he
about
does.
and thinks about very, very deeply. So,
Very thoughtful.
and he works in
answers.
that industry, so it's not like it's coming from an outside perspective.
Very true. We have a super chat for you.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like chilling with the boys in DC?
Can you turn
Also-
down the sounds of the inner city first?
I can reread that is what I can do.
In the city.
Damn, y'all. They had to do this right while I'm reading.
I mean, my power went out, so who am I to talk?
Connor wants to know.
He wants to
Damn.
know, what is the 5-alarm emergency?
It better be an emergency. What was it like chilling with the boys in DC? Also, Tut said on Twitter it was the first time Jay and Pascal met in real life. Is that true?
Yeah, it was the first time we actually had met. Pascal was supposed to come out to an event in New York 2 years ago, and he got very ill at the last minute, like at the airport, and didn't make the flight. And then I was supposed to go over there, and then, I don't make enough money.
Aww.
So, and then he got ill and couldn't leave for a while. So having him come out to DC was shocking. And I won't get too much into it, but it's just him in live shows was something we kind of had come to an agreement that just wasn't going to happen after New York. And so for him to come out to DC was like a huge deal. So I was really excited for that, just for the fact that he was getting out of the house, actually getting to meet you guys, because he stays inside a lot. So he doesn't get to interact with people that watch the show. So he really doesn't know how people feel about him.
Aww.
So for him to get out in real life, there's a picture that I got, and I've been doing this thing lately where I don't share every photo. And if I finally feel like I have enough, I'll make like a little video of the time of these group of photos. But there's a shot of Pascal and Jeff Kennedy and Dr. Claw, actually, and they're at the after show spot, which was extremely loud because, again, we didn't think about this beforehand, but it was Pride weekend, so it was just fucking loud, as you can imagine. And it was a cool shot. I think we called it Black. I think I sent the picture to Toussaint that night. I was like, hey, look, it's Black excellence sitting at this table. And I asked Pascal as we were getting in the car going back to Tut's house, I was like, so what do you think? He goes, I think it went well. And I'm like, did you meet people that you didn't know? He goes, so many people, and they really like me. So it was, how can I put this? I don't care how I'm received, right? I'm just the dude that tries to put it all together. And I was just hosting that event, right? I didn't get to add any insightful points or anything. Like, no one's going to quote me from that event. But it was cool. It was really cool to be on that stage with these people, to referee that conversation. I said it in a caption, and I really felt like it. Like these are some really great minds. These are some contemporary great minds. I think we're so stuck in looking at great minds of the past, we can't really look at people today and say, this motherfucker has some really great shit to say, and his thoughts on this are very insightful and helpful for me to see the world. Like, I really am glad I know Pascal Robert. I'm glad I get to do a show with Pascal Robert. I'm glad I get to throw ideas off Pascal Robert. I'm glad I get to throw ideas off Touré Reed, Cedric Johnson, and Adolph Reed to some extent. Danny Bessner, Kuba, Gene Bajlan. Like, these guys are like really intelligent. And there was a moment where it's me, Varn, and Pascal chilling in Tut's basement, and we were just having, you know, discussion after discussion after discussion for hours until our eyelids finally closed. But it was the nerd out that you could imagine, with all these people in the same place, talking a lot of nerd shit, having a great time. Jeff Kennedy even came over the next day after the show because he had never met Daniel Tutt. He's from DC, and Jeff came over for a few hours, and the same thing happened with Jeff. And it was cool. There were moments where I definitely felt like the luckiest fly on the coolest wall.
Nice.
And that's kind of how I feel doing the show. And I don't know why I didn't throw, Toussaint's name in the mix. Toussaint definitely is another person whose insights are extremely fucking helpful. I've quoted her in articles. It is through Toussaint's insight into defund the police and its neoliberal structure that I got yelled at on the Majority Report. So
yay!
I'm surrounded by pretty awesome individuals, and DC was a moment where a lot of us were in the same room, and you could only imagine the one half crazy shit that's said, because there was also alcohol flowing for those guys, and then the other half just super fucking insightful, cool shit. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Another person that I'm actually very, very, honored to know is my neighbor, Ben Burgess. Getting to talk about doing something in Mexico, because another thing Toussaint said, I said this on air, and I'll say it. Medea Benjamin came out for we were totally shocked. I said it the other day, I guess I was ending a show, and I was like, oh, we should do something in Mexico, and we should do a meet and greet. And I said it on air, and it's like people thought I was lying. I was like, I'm delirious because I haven't slept, and you can ask me this question in 2 days, and I'll be like, I don't give a shit about doing any of that stuff. So Ben and I go out to get bread, right? There's only one place that has real sourdough bread, and it's in TJ. And he's mildly bitching at me about taking the bus to TJ because he doesn't want to take the bus. But anyway, we're at this anarchist cafe. And all of a sudden, he just rips right into it. He goes, Toussaint was right. If we're going to do something in Mexico, we got to do a live show. We got to do it like DC. And da-da-da-da-da-da. And I looked at him, I was like, Ben, I wasn't joking. I really... I'm not serious anymore. That was on the stream, Jason. You're talking to the real guy right now. And you're saying words that involve organization and thought that I just can't hear. I'm waiting for my $1 fucking iced latte. So please. No, and oh dude, I was just pinky was out. I had a fucking loaf of bread in my bag. I was like, this must be how the other half lives. Come, Benjamin, to the affordable pizza place. But he was really fired up about the idea to do something down here, and he got me fired up about doing something down here. So now we actually talked to some people about putting together an event down here, kind of closer to election time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be really fun to do something down here. Some of the comments that people leave about what are the goth women like, and this, that, and the third is so funny, because we did go out to this bar afterwards. We live streamed a little bit from the bar, and I think we showed one of the women that work there that Connie and I know really, really well. And everything you guys whine about, there's a place where it's really cool. Like Ben was joking about finding a woman who likes horror movies. I was like, if you're really looking for that, you're definitely going to find her here.
Yep.
And this woman was selling chocolate. It was the coolest fucking chocolate that I've ever. Can I show you? because I didn't
Okay.
even eat it. Jason shops like a cartoon character. I hope Ben is watching because it's so true. It's so true. Hold on. It's so true.
Oh, Sid, Nanda. Oh, Sid. Orb rumor. I remember that. And we're good, man. No worries. We're straight. We were straight then, too.
That is fucked up. But it is really true. I do shop like that. So there's this mall. They were having a bazaar. So there was all these people like selling shit everywhere, and this young lady was selling like I thought it was the coolest shit, and it was like this. Can you see this, Toussaint?
Uh-huh.
It's a Ouija thing, but it's chocolate.
The whole thing is chocolate?
The whole thing is chocolate. I can eat this.
That is awesome.
Right?
They engraved a Ouija board.
They engraved a Ouija thing.
Pin thing. Yeah.
And the chocolate. So maybe this is common in the United States, but I'd never seen it, right? And so then she also had this. Look at this. This is a Jason Voorhees cookie.
Very nice.
What?
A Jason Voorhees cookie for Jason.
Right? So
not Jackson, Jason.
So I was like, this is really cool. And me and Ben were talking about, if you find a woman that meets like horror movies, and I see all this stuff, and I said, excuse me, but do you like horror movies? And she goes, I was like, see, Ben, we live in the greatest place. We live in the greatest place ever. Jason can't be trusted. I can't. So bad. You should see Ben's face. We probably look like a couple.
Aww.
The mail place where we get our mail thought we were a couple.
I think that's so cute and funny. I don't know why. I know you didn't do any like PDA in front of them, and they just assumed anyway.
I was like, what about? I was like, we weren't holding hands. I didn't fucking look at him and do this shit. I didn't do anything. I was like, and the ladies were just cracking up, laughing at me, trying to get them to tell me what. Like, we just thought, and I was like, but who did you think was giving? I just want to know where you thought did you? Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, Jason.
It's because Jason laughs at Ben's joke.
That's funny.
We had, look, this, I think, also, you know what else she makes, Toussaint? She makes little chocolate tarot cards.
Cute. Oh.
How adorable is that?
That's fantastic.
So I got this. And there's like a bunch, there's so many people that make cool shit like that at these places. It's almost like I fell into some crazy fucking world of like gothy heavy metal hotness. Damn, I'm a twink. Sid Nanda said Jason's a twink. Jesus.
Jason's an elder twink. Jason's holding it together pretty well for a twink.
I'm so glad no one that lives in this neighborhood knows what I do. He's a twaz. Christian says he's a twaz. Oh my God, God, Jason and Ben are Red and Andy Dufresne at the end of Shawshank Redemption.
That's so cute. Me too.
It is. Oh, you can't hear me. I have to talk louder. I'm sorry.
A little bit.
Because I don't have my microphone. Are you ready to go to bed? Kushlik said he wanted to say something. So Kushlik, say something. Next time the power goes out, Tucson, I'll make carrot raisin salad on air.
Oh my gosh.
Just pantless carrot raisin salad.
Jesus. There is a guy who does that.
He makes pantless carrot raisin salad?
It's not raisin salad. He'll make like weird pizzas, but he'll just be in his boxers and his like those bracelets that they put on your ankle, the ankle monitor. Yeah.
Like he's in prison?
Yeah.
Oh, someone said, what's the TIR PO box? I have to get it. Do you have it, Tucson?
No.
The PO box? You know the box number, the address.
I have to go into my Amazon and like place an order, and then I can get it.
I can get it. I think I know it. I just always forget the zip code. I will leave it in the comment. I promise I'll leave it in the comment section for this show. I will do that. Live stream of Jason's famous oil rig grits. It's not really that famous. It was my biscuits and gravy is famous, and I did make that for my house guest. They understood. I'm telling you, dude. Wait, did I make? I forget. I definitely made it recently. I'm gonna make it again, but she was very concerned that I shouldn't do this ab cap cooking because she thinks I might scald my junk and have it look like Freddy Krueger's face by the end of the episode.
Okay, wow. Okay, wow. Didn't see that coming.
And it was that kind of love. I do make salsa, and I put them in little containers, and so you have choices whenever you come over the house for chips.
Little condiment bottles.
I do. I have little condiment bottles full of salsa, and they're all labeled, and they're also labeled for hotness. I'm a very good host.
Of TIR2.
Spoiler alert, his junk already looks like Freddy Krueger's face.
You guys.
At least people are funny, you know? The mean shit that like people say that they think is like gonna like hurt our feelings. Just like it's not even fucking funny, dude. You suck. God, now they're talking about shriveled up dick. That's so mean. You guys are like the meanest people ever.
Wow.
Maybe we should. I'm so terrified to like go and do this again tomorrow night. Jesus, what are you motherfuckers gonna say tomorrow?
I never heard of that.
Wearing shoes at parties? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Like they don't take their shoes off in someone's house? Because that's just rude.
Should.
Right? Is that what they mean? Or just they go to the party with shoes on? I would be very pissed off if you came to my house with just no shoes on.
That too. You gotta know how to handle the party.
Like, oh, the host of Fruit Till. You know what? I don't, because I have a tile floor. I don't tell people to take off their shoes. I take mine off. And I tell them that, and I look at them very passive aggressively like this. I go, I'm just going to mop when you leave. That's fine.
Nice.
And they look at me and go, okay. I go, okay. They just start. Let's go jump on his bed.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you tell people to take off their shoes when they come to your house?
I don't anymore because I just plan to mop after they leave.
I'm just gonna mop after you leave. I used to tell people, look, if I got my dream, there's like this thing that I always saw at really cool rich Asian people's houses where they would have like this whole cubby place for shoes, and then like they would actually have like little guest slippers for you. That is like what I think, like, to me, success and opulence is being able to afford wearing white pants.
Whoa. You're in Mexico. That's like white pants central.
You would think. I'm not there, right? Like, I saw an interview with Brandon Boyd from Incubus, and he was just wearing like white pants and like a hemp shirt. And I was like, I think that's what success looks like at this point in my life.
White pants means he wants you to look.
It does, right? Because if I'm wearing white pants, no draws.
See,
None.
PMC called it. PMC called it.
This is too messy for my pants. Success is caring for my guests. Nuriyank, that's what a douchebag looks like. No, you're right, Nuriyank. And I kind of think that those kind of people are douchey. Like, but doesn't that mean you've made it when you have your like white pants on and like a linen shirt, and someone's asking you about like, so Jason, you've recently got into painting. I'm like, yeah. I don't even elaborate. I'm just like, yeah. That's. And I have some like model girlfriend that's like 20 years my junior. You know, ever since I've been with Rebecca, my muse.
I knew you were gonna say Rebecca. I don't know.
I've just been so inspired to like paint. I just want to create. She's 28 right now. She's got about a month and a half. Right. Give her the boot for something a little firmer and tighter. Code Brown.
Damn.
I love the fact that Toussaint. I love the fact that Code Brown is part of TIR lore. I need to find that episode. I need to cut that clip into a short because Code Brown. I think I cut one of our most recent funny things up today when we were making fun of that girl's mom rapping. And all of you people watching right now were a part of this clip. And I hope that this clip does fucking Finkelstein talking about jerking off numbers. It won't, but just goddamn. I laughed cutting it up, dude. It's like 20 minutes of just us ripping on this chick's mom, ripping on the little girl. It's the coochie sound girl. And we're trying to figure out what the mom is talking about. And so many messages are coming in from people in the chat trying to explain, and they don't know. It's just, it was brilliant. Priceless. Brilliant. Yes, Bad Lefty, slap, slap, slap. I think we were quoting Bad Lefty throughout the thing because that motherfucker was saying some crazy shit. Actually, the clip is called, it'll come out Friday, and it's called Coldplay, Sexy Red, and That Coochie Sound. So, I didn't watch the Star Wars Hotel, whatever that is. If it comes on Disney, I can't watch it. Quit rubbing it in. It's Tubi only. If it's not on Tubi, I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's a Tubi only household.
I'm gonna fucking close this computer, and I think there's power now, and I'm gonna go and reset the fucking microwave clock.
Aww.
Make some carrot raisin salad and fucking watch Tubi. Oh, it says on YouTube. Okay, then I can watch it then. But I think you guys should also watch more Tubi. Joe says that Chase has a stubble back.
Casey's a bad twink. He's got stubble.
Yeah, no self-respecting twink would have this much facial hair. I'm not going to shave again until this. I'm waiting for someone to return, so I'm not going to shave
Oh.
until this person returns. Yeah,
Spiritual.
I could be full of shit, but today, Tubi is revolution, and I do think they should take our slogan we made up with Cuba. It's Tubi or it's not Tubi, right? It's fucking awesome.
By definition, correct.
it's so fucking rad. What if I'm actually in talks with a smaller television station? I won't say which one yet until the contract's done. That's going to carry some of our stuff. But what if we got with Tubi and they gave us some ridiculous amount of money to do like a show a week?
That would be awesome.
And we could actually have a set, and I could get you and Pascal to come down here, and we could actually film it on the set.
Oh, God. Like a real talk show.
It would just be like a nerd version of the Eric Andre show. Is really all it would be.
You get a skinny microphone like Bob Barker.
I would love a skinny microphone like Bob Barker.
Yep.
My skinny microphone would be erect like that if I had a skinny microphone like that. Do you know how excited I would be to run around? In DC, they gave me a wireless mic, and I got to like run all over the crowd and ask and like, let people ask questions. That's been my dream since I started doing anything, since I was a little kid singing in church.
Aww.
My grandfather got to preach and run around. I was like, can I run around too? This is So I got in a medal. I was like, you can run around with this thing? Nobody gets mad at you? Oh, this is cool.
In DC, a little Ados boy's dream came through.
A little ADOS boy. Oh, man. Have the guests spin the big wheel of neoliberal cop-outs.
Nice.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, if we got to have a show like that's, I'll be honest, and there's no reason why I should be saying this on the main show stream. Fuck it. That's one of the things that, me and Ben were talking about was actually doing stuff live in person with a bit of an audience around. And there's this one spot, I won't say where yet, in TJ where we actually could have that kind of setup where we would be doing a stream, but there would be people there kind of like an audience, but also just kind of walking around and doing their thing, which I think is pretty fucking cool. So cross your fingers that we can start doing that sooner than later, since DC showed us the way to hook up this mobile streaming setup. So that's the goal. And remember, guys, I finally have the hookup on cool shit. So if you want to impress your significant others, give me a holler.
Mm-hmm.
And Toussaint or I will definitely leave the P.O. box. Oh, Ben's texting. Did I say something wrong? Okay, yeah. We'll stay on for a little bit longer. The sunset in TJ is going crazy. Yeah, that's why it's cool to live here. It's a beautiful place to sit here and watch the sunset. It would be even cooler if Toussaint was here, and as the sun's setting, and we're just enjoying the sunset, I would just rip a fart.
Nice.
And just ruin all of the joy.
And the sky starts changing colors. Whoa, what happened? Something massive.
Yeah, the scenic route. Yeah, the beach is. I might be there for a little bit tomorrow. I'm almost ahead of myself work-wise, and I found that if I don't wear the exact outfit I wore when Toussaint reminded me how depressing I must have looked on the beach that day.
I am not the one who told you to wear that outfit.
I was just, it didn't seem depressing at the time. You know, maybe throw some color in there.
Crazy.
So I'm gonna try the sun setting on Toussaint's mushroom. Did you have that hairdo?
No.
I don't believe that.
My hair was always longish until I was an adult, and then I cut it all off.
Like a natural?
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you do that?
My hair's still natural. My hair's still natural. Yeah.
Girl, your hair is down to the middle of your back.
It's still natural.
It's naturally permed.
Straight. It's not permed.
Oh, okay. Nuri Yank, I'm so glad you mentioned Machine Head. I totally forgot to do this. So Saturday, we're doing a music show. We're doing the year 1994 because you guys voted for the year 1994. So I was thinking about doing a metal show next month about the year 1986. And so I hit up Chris Contos, formerly of Machine Head, the original drummer. And I said, Chris, would you want to come on and talk about a show about 1986? And he goes, oh, that sounds cool. And I said, well, this Saturday would be cool because we're doing a show on 1994. He goes, I'd much rather do 1994, dude. Nice. So this Saturday, Chris Contos, so we're actually going to have an artist. I think they went gold or platinum on that record, on that first record, that actually can talk about the musical climate from someone that was literally there on our 1994 show. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I think this whole music thing is coming together where we're going to have more artists that were there during these years. Like when we do 82, we might be able to get one of the guys from Devo to come on. So that'd be fun as well. Davidian is my favorite drum intro. So make sure you give Chris all the props in the world when he comes on stream for that. Chris watches this show, by the way. So I'm always shocked when he hits me up and goes, dude, I watched the show. That was really cool what you said. That's cool. That's dope. Lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. When my friends like that. Also, I always have to give Chris the biggest shout out. Like he's been a huge, what's the word? Helpful mentor in my musical endeavors. And that kind of help that he's done is like you can't even put a price tag on. Like literally throwing shows for me and my ex, we were in Le Fin Absolute du Monde. That was really cool. And just always having the greatest advice ever. So
that's good.
Jason will be Black Beto. I wish I could be that dude. You think he's really recording bands at this point with like 3 million YouTube subscribers? This actually, this chocolate Ouija board is in the shape of a heart, and it actually is for somebody.
It's for what?
It's for somebody.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I can't.
You're giving your Ouija heart to someone.
I'm giving my Ouija heart to someone, and it can work, for me in that way. That if they end up fucking me over, maybe they get Montezuma's revenge.
Or when you die, you haunt them.
Oh, that would suck. Because what if, like, what if they were right to leave and like, and I had moved on, but I'm stuck haunting this person that I don't even want to be around anymore?
Because they ate your heart Ouija.
Oh, they hate the heart Ouija. Oh, maybe I should eat it then. Raw boo-boo curse. Whole house smelled like boo-boo. Raw boo-boo. Raw boo-boo. Okay, I have to do it. I have to find it. Give me a second, Toussaint. Can you please give me a second?
Yes.
Jason will haunt Ben. That would also suck. I don't want to haunt Ben. What if he's like doing shit, adult stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
That would suck.
That's your first thought.
That was my first thought. You're haunting someone and they're just trying to fucking slap some serious ham. And you're over there haunting them.
Maybe you
Dude,
would feed his dog for him.
What? Not at all.
No.
What a boring haunting if that's all I was doing.
I guess.
Tucson, I'm trying to pull up this video and it won't let me for some reason.
You were trying to pull up a video right now?
I really want you to see this video of this dude saying that the gardeners beat him up.
You're going so far right now. Just really
It
pushing
won't-
it.
It won't let me pull it up. Why is it?
Because you're doing too much. If the screen cuts out right now, we'll know why.
You really have to see this dude complaining about the gardener beating him up. There's got to be a way I can show it. I know how I'm going to show it. I figured
Mine's
it out.
been doing midnight pottery.
If he walked behind me, he would scare the shit out of me, by the way.
Ben's a big
Like
dude.
the literal. Well, it would just because no one's here. So if someone
That
just
too.
came through my door, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" and now I have to mop.
Right? Plot twist. Ben's a ghost.
Yeah, plot twist. Now I got to mop. I'm going to. I think I found a way to find this video, and you have to see it, dude. I really want you to see it.
You are insane.
This guy claims that he got beat up by a group of gardeners.
You're so excited about this.
Like, okay, I found it. And I think we can watch it. Let's see. I feel so bad for people that had watched it, listening to this on the audio, because they're going to miss the funniest shit ever. Can you see it? Is it showing on the screen? Yes?
Yes.
No. Is it showing on the screen?
Yep.
God damn it. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Listen to this.
And then it's when I fell over here and they started like stomping me and hitting me behind the head. Everybody was around. Everybody was watching.
Including Heron's dad.
My dad got out of the truck trying to tell him to stop. He fell in the ditch because he's a senior citizen.
Powerless to help as his son fought for his life, eventually saved only by some quick thinking.
And I grabbed one's thigh and I bit his leg. I bit out of his leg. And that's when
You're so insane.
Are you watching this?
I'm watching this.
What? Guys, it's not one gardener. It's a crew of gardeners.
That's when I bit him, and that's when they got back in their truck and they left.
A truck he and police are now on a mission to find.
Why are these gardeners intimidating us? Aren't they supposed to be planting trees and cutting grass? And he hit
Yes,
me.
Tucson. Why are the gardeners intimidating us?
So ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Times. Like, real talk, dude. When in your life have you ever seen gardeners and been like, oh man, hold up, I gotta unlock it. Hold on.
Ben is here? Maybe Ben is here. It's only funny in the sense that it's absurd that gardeners would be doing that.
My neighbor's here. So
Your neighbor's here.
my neighbor's here.
Gentle Ben.
Oh, you can't hear. Hold on. If I take this out, you might hear the dogs. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. You might hear the dogs next door.
Yeah.
Lucy's like a dog cock tease.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and the dog across the street is mad rapey.
It's true.
It's a rapey ass dog.
Yeah, I think there are 2 of them, but at least there's a fence. So.
Yeah, if there wasn't a fence,
Right,
dude,
right.
everybody's dog would get raped. They're really gentle around me, but they're just, I've never seen dogs that rapey before.
Hey, Lucretia.
Someone says, "Good evening, Dr. Fresh." Did I send you this video?
What's the video?
This dude is getting attacked by gardeners.
Okay.
That's a real thing. Wait.
That's a combination of
Were
words.
you really on? Were you on Destiny stream for real?
I was, yeah.
Like just now?
Yeah, that's. Remember when I texted you? The power went off at the most frustrating possible time.
Oh, you were streaming with that piece of shit?
Yeah.
Oh, can I say that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like fun.
Not really. No, it was. Yeah. So the like on the plus side, the debate at R was already like an hour and 20 minutes overtime. Anyway. But there was like an extended Q&A thing at the end, and then I got like. So if we kept a little better time limits, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But yeah, it was like in the middle of giving a Q&A answer when the power cut out.
Oh, that's whack. Oh, so now you guys know Ben wasn't dodging, dude. If the power actually went out, my power also.
No, and I literally had, and I spent like 5 minutes trying to get
Your phone to connect.
My phone to connect, like my computer to connect to my phone. And then like the power came back, and then eventually my internet came back. And by this time it had been like 5 or 7 minutes, and like they'd ended the Zoom.
So they said you rage quit. Is that what they said?
To be fair, I think they actually didn't say that, but yeah, it was a little frustrating. It was also, although it was a little funny, as I was standing outside, I had one of those moments of I don't know what this was post, but some sort of clarity there where I had because he brought up, right, we're talking about Palestine and
gross.
Yeah. And he made this argument that like, oh, it's like unreasonable or unrealistic to say that you should that like everybody who's like a refugee from ethnic cleansing should be able to come back, because what about all these Germans who were like kicked out of Eastern Europe in the 40s? And there's so many of them. That's so crazy that like 20 million Germans, ethnic Germans were kicked out of Eastern Europe. What, you think they should all be able to come back? And then I was like standing outside looking at my phone, trying to like see if I could at least get like internet on there. I could try to zoom in on there. I was thinking, it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Germany and Poland are both in the EU. If you're a German citizen, you want to move to Poland, no problem. Like, you're literally allowed your first 90 days. Like, they barely look at your passport on your way in. But in any case,
please, Turks, give me back
my house.
But, dude, you know what's funny? I just want people to know that I didn't know any of this, that he was supposed to talk to that dude.
No, I mean,
you were just at my house last night.
I was, and remember you asked what I was doing tonight, and I said, because I was fading. I was like minutes away from falling asleep. So, and I knew it right when I was leaving.
Jesus,
and
flyers are too much tonight.
And yeah, exactly. A lot more Poles moving to Germany than vice versa, right? I don't think it's an issue. But as I was leaving, you were like, "Oh, what are you doing tomorrow night?" And I was like, "Oh, I have a thing at 5, but I don't think it's going to last more than a couple hours." And I said it that way because I knew if I said I'm doing a Palestine debate with Destiny, then there would have been like an extended conversation, like where you like possibly asked me about my life choices.
Or look, it's only going to look. That is a very fair response, because we do have these conversations in private where it's like, "Hey, man, I love you as a man, as a brother, and I think you continuously punching yourself in the testicles for a handful of views and 4 patrons for 2 months is not worth it. That being said,
Yeah, but he's wrong. It's important to explain that he's wrong. How would people know he was wrong if I didn't say it?
but I also could have heard you say that, slowly walked to the refrigerator, popped a beer open, and just put it in your hand and been like, I don't want to hear anymore.
Fair enough.
Like, I'm literally going to get you. Do you want a beer?
Sure.
A Modelo or the other one?
The Modelo.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, how you doing, MT?
Doing okay. I have an echo.
Oh, let me see if I turn down the volume, if that helps. Fuck is his volume? There we go. MT, I'm so confused. You said something on the stream the other night. Do you not know how to swim?
I don't know how to swim.
Okay.
She's from New York and she's black. That's called a double whammy.
Hello.
And if you saw her hair right now, you would know that any black woman with hair like that touching the swimming pool is that's so many Negro violations. She would come out of the pool looking like Anna Nicole Smith. She would lose so much blackness if she dared go in the pool with her hair.
My God, I didn't know it worked like that.
Oh, instantaneously.
Wow. Okay. Hey, I think Nuri, I think I'm the one being the least racist in this conversation. I'm the one who thinks that, everybody should be able to swim,
Yeah, you fucking liberal. Goddamn libs all over Mexico right now. Can we show Ben this fucking guy getting beat up by the gardener, though?
Oh, my God.
Ben, you got to see this. This fucking is ridiculous.
Okay.
Look at this.
And then it's when I fell over here and they started like stomping me and hitting me behind the head. Everybody was around. Everybody was watching.
Including Heron's dad.
My dad got out of the truck trying to tell him to stop. He fell in the ditch because he's a senior citizen.
Powerless to help as his son fought for his life, eventually saved only by some quick thinking.
And I grabbed one thigh and I bit his leg. I bit out of his leg. And that's when I bit him, and that's when they got back in their truck and they left.
A truck he and police are now on a mission to find.
Why are these gardeners intimidating us? Aren't they supposed to be just planting trees and cutting grass? He hit me.
All right. I'm going to take a stand here. I'm going to take a stand here and say that there's more to this story than we're hearing. I don't think some gardeners just decided out of nowhere to start beating this guy.
Are we positive this man is in George Santos? Dude, this is a news story.
Fell in the ditch because he's a senior citizen. You know how senior citizens are? They're always falling in ditches. Like seriously, why did the gardeners hit him?
What could you have said to gardeners in Houston, Texas, of all places? It's not like he said this in fucking Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or fucking Pocatello, Idaho, or Coeur d'Alene, or Milwaukee. Motherfuckers in Houston. It's Gardner Central. They might have more gardeners rolling around in trucks than LA on a Sunday afternoon.
And I don't believe that the gardeners just like randomly decided, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we took a break from gardening
and fuck this guy up?
And just fuck this guy up. Why? Because fuck him, that's why.
Because fuck this guy and his high water fucking pants. He's wearing his mom's slacks. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, like whatever he said, like that's way more interesting than anything in the video is why they started beating him in the first place.
Someone said he hit the Michael Jackson lean when he was trying to tell the story. And he's like dancing around. So Toussaint, can you explain this to me?
Yeah. I don't understand it.
You've seen gardeners before. Anytime in your life you just think, ooh, those look like some rough customers. Never in my life have I ever thought.
Like I have heard of people working at construction sites, you know, who get into a fight while they're like at the site, right?
Sure.
Like, you know, that's a thing, you know. I mean, God, I mean, I could even think of times when people working at like convenience stores, like,
definitely, it's a dangerous job.
Yeah, this is literally the first time in my life I've ever heard of somebody being assaulted by a gardener, and I think the gardeners as a category have built up enough, like, you know, credit for like not randomly starting shit.
Unless the gardeners were all the Cobra Kai dojo from Karate Kid. Like, that's the only way. That's the only way the story makes sense.
Their senseis sent them out as some sort of like exercise or like to get them, you know, it's like, no, you guys are all doing garden work today.
Yeah, like, fuck this guy. He looks like LaRusso. Like, there's, unless that happens, I don't, but the guy's all bruised up, dude. Like, somebody fucked that guy up. Apparently a bunch of gardeners rolled by and fucked that guy up. Like, that's fucked up. Like, somebody says he's a funny looking dude, but you're a gardener. You see funny looking dudes all day long. You see funny looking, you see weird babies and shit, shitty dogs. You see all kind of stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of a gardener just fucking, a crew of gardeners fucking someone up. Never heard that before in my life. On one dude?
Unprecedented.
That's why it was the news was like, oh my God. Did you hear this on the scanner?
And the way he's presented it is in the video is like, why would gardeners do this? It's like, yeah, you tell me.
Gardeners know to throw pocket seeds in your face. Like, just throwing a handful of manure in the kid's face, and then start slapping the shit out of him. Like, if that happened, the person, first of all, we're not giving props to the right person. The person that went there to take this kid's statement is whatever award you can win for fucking journalism, give it to that son of a bitch. Because he stayed there with a straight face while this kid was dancing around, river dancing, trying to tell a story how they river danced on his head. Motherfucker was talking, and that's when they started tap dancing on my head, Your Honor. Like, and also the PTSD that you would get, that would be every time you hear one of them air blowers go off, motherfucker started shitting on himself. And I'm
like a gardener like turns to you and like asks you to like step around the grass or something. He's
he gets into a fucking ball. He gets into an ass kick ball. Like, and the reason I feel comfortable doing this, like shitting on this guy so hard, is because I really believe he provoked the gardeners. I do not believe.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
That the gardeners.
I'm 100%.
You
sure
provoked the gardeners, dude. You totally provoked the gardeners.
I mean, yeah, maybe this was the Cobra Kai garden crew, but like if I had to put money on this, I would put a lot on he provoked the gardeners.
If it's not William Zabka in any of his roles in the 80s, if it's not Cobra Commander, Lex Luthor, the bad guy from Aquaman, if those aren't the gardeners, then I think, dude, you might be a douchebag.
Yeah.
Gallivanting around town in your fucking baggy slacks, making fun of gardeners. That's the only thing I can think right now of why this happened, Tucson. Right? Is that fair?
There's definitely more to the story.
Right? There's gotta be more to the story. So I wanted to show you that. And can I show you one more, or am I killing your high?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Tucson.
I don't know if you're asking me.
I'm asking Tucson. Have I showed you this Jordan Peterson thing? Then did I send you this? I emailed you this, right? Or texted you this?
Which Jordan Peterson thing was this?
Someone put together this clip of Jordan Peterson things. Ah, fuck! I can't. You know what? I can't show it to you. There you go. You win. I can't show it to you. It's not letting me pull it up. I don't know why. I can't show you the Jordan Peterson thing. Okay. You win this time, Gadget. Okay. Oh, wait. Maybe I can't show it to you. Hold on. Tucson, be entertaining with Ben. We'll pull this up.
We got to figure out what to do about this sound.
What's wrong with it?
I can hear myself twice.
You can hear yourself twice?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? You said you hear yourself twice?
Yep.
You're hearing an echo?
It's not an echo.
I can't do anything about it. It's not an echo.
It's the sound coming out of your computer.
Oh, you can hear the sound coming out of my computer? Is that why you're talking really slow?
Yeah. Everyone can hear me twice.
Oh, okay. Well, tell them they just have to deal with it and shut the fuck up.
Nice.
Oh, turn it down? Nice. Okay. What about now? You still hear the echo?
No. Nope. Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. Well, fuck it then. Fuck it. Let's just go. I'm sorry. I apologize. Oh, it went when I removed my headphones.
Oh, well,
there
that
you
makes
go.
sense.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry,
No, that's actually my fault then.
Maybe this is why the gardeners attacked. Now we're seeing it in real life. Someone said I thought it was the drugs on my end. No, I guess it was just taking out the headphones. So sorry, guys.
Yeah, although I'm a little surprised by that because you should be able to. You must do that. Do you ever just like Zoom with somebody on the computer? Like, you must not use your headphones for that.
I use my headphones for that.
Use your headphones
yeah. Sorry, I worked in show business. Sorry, I'm a professional. I know how to roll my chords the proper way. Why don't Jason and Ben share one headphone each like those cute couples do? If we did that, as funny as it would be, the internet would not think it'd be as funny, and the memes from that would be too much. I don't know if I'm man enough to handle it.
I'm definitely not man enough to handle it.
I'll admit to that. There's only so many times I can get called the F word before I'm like, okay. Now I got to give somebody a gardener beat down.
It's good that it is so rare because gardeners could really do some damage if they wanted to, right? They have the tools available there.
They could have fucked that guy up. If they would have took out hose and shit, a bunch of shovels, and those weed whack. If they would have weed whacked his ass.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, what did you say? Because if a gardener really wanted to fuck with you, he pull out the weed whacker, it'd be a rap for you.
Yeah.
And them baggy khakis. So it's just two males on the veranda.
Yeah.
I want to end the stream because it's late, but you guys are really fucking funny. Like, I can't stop laughing. Okay, is that Gene?
It's got to be, right?
Is Gene on? Is Gene here?
No, I'm here. That's me.
Is that you that wrote that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'll be back tomorrow. Ben, you'll be doing something tomorrow, right?
I'm not doing shit tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll be doing shit tomorrow at his house then. Maybe rethinking life decisions, debating pieces of shit.
Yeah, I'll be working on my class lecture for the Capital class on Sunday because I haven't done very much.
I thought that was Colonel Sanders on your shirt, and that's Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky.
I like Norm Chomsky.
Norm Chomsky.
He's like a composite. He's a composite character that like is like all of the elderly Jewish leftists that Jason could think of. Oh, Norm Chomsky, that guy.
I totally thought that was Colonel Sanders. I just thought, oh, Ben's wearing one of those Kentucky Fried Chicken shirts.
Is that a thing?
It's not a thing.
You know, people wear shirts of brands like, oh, Pepsi. And I thought maybe you had a.
Well, I can imagine one that just said KFC, but would it be like a
Colonel Sanders?
Yeah.
I could see it. Somebody wearing a Colonel Sanders shirt. I mean, he's a funny-looking slave-owning motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
He didn't own slaves, but if someone was to own slaves, he's wearing the uniform.
Yeah, I mean, he's more likely than Ronald McDonald.
Can you imagine Ron McDonald making a balloon animal before he beats the shit out of you for not moving fast enough? He's stuck in a glass and he's like, he slaps the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I remember thinking after Citizens United, removed the limits on corporations doing political advocacy. It's like, man, I really hope this means that we're going to get a commercial where the Burger King can crown somebody like an election endorsement.
We should just do that ourselves. We should do it because I think you can get that outfit. That's what we should do for the election night thing. Or isn't there some sort of stream for Thursday? Are you doing a Thursday thing for the debate?
I was thinking about it. CNN's being really annoying about the stream, so I don't think I could do it on YouTube. I think they'd shut it down.
You're just going to go Twitch?
But I was thinking, yeah.
Or Discord?
I was probably just Discord.
If you're a patron of Ben Burgess, show up on Discord. I'm sure he's going to do a breakdown of the debate. I will not be doing that. Bert Cooper and I think Tyler Harper will be talking about black people shit. So that means that 7 people will watch. Toussaint's not even coming on that show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't ask.
Yeah, she just said pass. Just yelled out pass.
No, you didn't ask.
You got an email.
Seriously?
Yes.
I didn't know I had a choice.
So do you want to come on the show?
I don't know. Those are some smart guys.
They are smart guys, but they're light skinned. So, knock them down a peg.
I mean, you could. You know what? Never mind. I was just going to suggest a way that somebody we know might have, would be able to combine the topics. And then I realized that was an off-air conversation. I'm not going to make that joke on
all right. No more. All right, let's get off air because Ben and I are going to go down a racist rabbit hole where we just say offensive shit. I already feel really bad that I thought Noam Chomsky was Colonel Sanders. It's like, oh, that's an interesting shirt for Ben to wear. I never even knew he liked KFC.
At first, you thought it was Colonel Sanders, and then you thought it was this composite character, Noam Chomsky.
Or Super Jew.
Exactly.
Nice. Is this what you two are like when you pick up your mail?
True story. I once invited Norm to come on my show because we were going to do a debate breakdown of Noam Chomsky's debate with, and we did end up doing this, right, but without him. Noam Chomsky's debate with Alan Dershowitz. And I asked Norm, because it seemed like obviously up his alley, if he wanted to come on for that. And his stated reason why not, I probably shouldn't do the Norm voice.
It's like the only way you can do it is you can't talk about Norm without doing the Norm voice.
It's like, no, I can't do that. I have an Oedipal relationship with Professor Chomsky, and if I had to criticize him in some way during the breakdown, I would require weeks of therapy. That is a verbatim quote. That's a verbatim quote, like you told me.
That is very Norm. If you know Norm Finkelstein, that is very Norm. I feel like a lot of you guys know him now from his anti-gooning stance.
That's what it's primarily known for, right? It's like,
and you heard it here first, guys. Who broke the goon news to you?
That's like the top 3 Norm Finkelstein facts. Exposed Alan Dershowitz's plagiarism, wrote a book about Gaza, and took a strong stance about gooning.
Like, that's it. That's it. That's all he did his whole life. All the other books were bullshit. Remember we taught Pascal about furries? You weren't on that stream. It was a champagne room thing, and Pascal
Like a champagne room thing.
and he didn't know what a furry was, and so we were explaining to him what a furry was, and for days he would like call us up and be like, "So I'm Googling what a furry is. So let me get this straight." Were you part of the gang, Toussaint? Were you part of those?
I was
calls?
there.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
Dude, it's like that. You know what? I'm not gonna do that one either. It's I'm just gonna like cut off all the like jokey, ambiguously racist references I want to make right now. Salvage what I can from this.
So this Pascal is better not awaken anything. Maybe that's why he was absent for so many months. He's not answering his phone. His family's saying he's making large purchases at costume stores. Thank you guys. I'm really going to leave this time because we've been going on for a long time, and it's late where Toussaint is. It is not late where me and Ben are. And I'm going to show Ben more videos with big butt white women stretching.
That's a clinically accurate description of the video from last night. So there we go.
Nothing pornish about it. You can find them on YouTube.
Is there nothing pornish about that video? I don't know about that, actually. I think that's overstated the case.
She's just teaching you about your body.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, thank you. All butts matter. Thank you. Polish big butt white women stretching. I don't know if she's Polish, but
I'm gonna say no.
She doesn't look Polish.
No.
But she's got.
She looks like she looks like she was like created in a Pilates class in Beverly Hills. That like the collective energy of the class just somehow weird science her into existence.
She is the weird science Kelly LeBrock of like suburban Gen X men on the verge of their second divorce. That's what they would think of. Her name is Dr. Mondragon. So if you go to Mondragon Chiropractic on YouTube, I don't know why I'm giving this lady a fucking advertisement. She's got like 2.4 million subscribers.
Ew,
she wears
2.5.
Do you? I don't know why my subscriber base is up. She wears every show. She wears these different colors. She'll have a different color leggings every show with the kind that go up your butt. She's got to be able to taste them at this point. But yeah, it's pretty intense. And she's just a chiropractor. She's nothing. She's just a really good chiropractor, and she cares about her patients. So you guys would.
She cares about her patients. What the camera cares about is a slightly different question, but also a kind of disturbing one, given that like
I think it's her son. It's like the cameraman. It's
maybe
weird.
better not to think about that one.
But they definitely get all the angles. It's an interesting show.
Read the comments on the screen.
Maybe she'll come on the pod. That would be awesome. What do you two little maniacs want to do next? Oh man, that's the thing. It's the reason why I say it's like a Gen X dudes created her is because they want that question to be asked to them. Like
Yes,
in
correct.
Science. Mondragon, like the worker cooperative. Yeah. I'm being totally serious.
Yeah,
felt the same way.
Yeah, Mondragon Chiropractic. Yeah. So check it out and then leave a comment if you've watched it before and if you've learned some stretches from it that help relieve your sciatica. I have, actually. That's nice. I have. Some shoulder stuff that's released a lot of tension on my pinched nerve. Yeah. She's very helpful. So don't listen to Ben Burgess over here with back and shoulder problems. Listen to Jay Smiles that's been sleeping in his actual bed. No shoulder problems. Lower back is fine.
So I just need to watch more all angles videos of Dr. Mondre, and then my back will be okay.
Dude, I gotta show you this woman that stretches. You gotta see this woman. Jesus Christ. It's just, you're like, my God. You had to.
Oh my gosh. This is so funny. The comments on the
Careful,
screen.
man. If Jason pulls out the massage gun.
He has one.
I do. And if the person who this Ouija is for returns, then I'll get to have it used on me. I'm actually excited about that.
Wow.
So that didn't sound right because it sounded like I'm trying to get pegged with a massage gun, but that's not at all what I was talking about.
Okay.
Typical passport bro conversation. It's the Ouija for Montrek. Somebody thought the massage gun was metaphorical. No, I have Toussaint was very nice for Christmas because she knows I whine about muscle aches. She got me a very large massage gun. That didn't sound right either. But I do have a massage gun, and I'll just stop talking right now. Everything I'm saying right now is just sounding worse and worse and worse. I had a smaller massage gun, but I left it at somebody's house.
Yeah.
That was X-rated.
Yeah. No, it. I really can't deny the masochism charges after today. I literally spent like 6 hours before the debate. I don't know why I'm saying this, but anyway, I've spent like 6 hours before the debate coming up with the list of everything that I could think of that he might say that would like respond to to my point and like, you know, what I would say about it. And like he said like fucking none of it, right? Like he did, like he was so off topic.
So you were prepared for nothing.
I was like, I prepared the shit out of like the possibility, like it's like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm saying. Here's like everything I could think of he might say in response.
Like that Charlie thing.
Yeah, totally.
It
was the Charlie Day board from Always Sunny that like I had going for like, and then he outsmarted me by just like wandering off topic and talking about irrelevant shit.
Oh, that's what that dude does. I think that's what he does when he's frightened. I think what you did was you scared him because you were so prepared. Kind of like the Finkelstein thing, where he was, if he's really looking on his devices and he's got the, you know, people in his ear. We have a code brown, sir. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out for 3 hours with us. Thank you guys for helping this channel stay alive. It is very hard work to do this. Everybody involved gives a lot. So the fact that you guys care enough to help us with our PBS-like telethon, and you can see real life that stuff happens. The power went out. Ben said his power was out, and we still kept going. So thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. Definitely be back Thursday. Saturday, we'll have an all-star show, me, Conan, and right now, Chris Contos. Who knows if Chris is going to bring anybody else? I don't know, but I'm really excited for that. Chris is going to come for the 1994 show. That was the year that Machine Head's first record came out.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah, I hit him up to talk about 86 because I want to talk about, you know, like Master of Puppets. And Puppet, all that. Was I talking to you about that earlier today? I was talking to Teray about that earlier today. But yeah, he was like, no, I want to come on for 94. You are. You are, but we both talk about metal. And I did send
you did send me some metal stuff.
I didn't send Teray that playlist. I sent you that playlist.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's true. Yeah.
12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually listened to about 4 hours of it while I was
preparing.
But yeah. Yeah, I liked Chris. He was fun.
Chris is a cool dude. Crazy guy. I'm really glad he's sober.
Yeah.
Fun dude. But he's playing in Forbidden now. Check those dudes out. Thank you guys so much. And again, I'll be back tomorrow. Ben will be doing some
Yeah, I think
Stuff
we're
Thursday.
probably not 100% on this, but I think we're probably going to do some sort of Discord thing to watch the debate. But I don't. I don't subject myself to this as many days of the week as Jason does. So I'm not actually going to be assuming I do that, because normally on Thursdays I would do the debate breakdown stream, but I think we're probably going to do something different so we can watch the presidential debate on Thursday, and then the next time I'm streaming is actually back here on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. You do Sunday.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Toussaint, you're a saint, and you don't have to show up Thursday. I think me and Bert will be fine if you don't want to come.
Well, thank you.
I'll tell Bert that you were scared of too much light-skinned people on the screen at one time.
Bert already knows.
Bert loves you, by the way.
He does not.
Yes, he does. I talk to him daily, and yes, he does. So,
All right.
on your left, thank you for calling this an unhinged telethon. Maybe that's what I'll list it as in the audio-only podcast, unhinged telethon for 3 hours. Toussaint, thank you so much for having the idea to put this together to make sure that, we all don't go broke, and I have to start really putting those nuts on the table.
You're very welcome. It worked out great. This was our first fundraising show.
Fundraising show. I hope we don't have to PBS it all the time, but who knows? Cross your fingers. There's some stuff in the works that's finally coming through, and hopefully it'll come through, and then I'll be less poor. Slightly less poor. Toussaint can get more of these hairdos that she has. I really wish you guys could see her hair right now. I really wish you guys could see her fucking hair right now. And it's real too. That's what's so crazy.
It is real.
All right, Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Thank you guys. And we are
Out.
Peace.